What's going on? I'm a little premature on stuff. I'm heating up food for my kids. I'm heating up the oven, I mean, to make food for my kids. So I'm a little bit premature, but I'll be around and I'll make sure it all happens, right? So here, let me grind some up for some enjoyment here. We're gonna smoke a J. Let's go. Let's get some buds up in. Man, these are really, really dank stank buds. This is really, I mean, what do I say when I smell this? What do I say when I smell it? Okay, uh, herb. What is that? Pepper, herb, autumn dirt, dude. This is some really, really good, you know, what do you want to call it? Camo, you know? It's not bright, right? It's not bright. Lizard, you know, it's kind of camo. It's kind of got that darkness to it. But man, it kills. So that's the herb inside, and that's where we go from here. Like I said, I am making them dinner right now. So I will be in on that process. I did send that join in link out there, brother. You know who you are. Give me a minute. Let's go ahead and roll this up. And then I'll be dropping their food in the roaster directly. All right, let's go. Let's go. Afghan hemp right there. Afghan hemp paper. My wife got from me, you know. She forgot yesterday. It was just funny, just cute, you know, because I just got her too high with too many papers that she forgot. Ain't no thing. Yep. So my timer is about to go off for my heating, right? My timer is about to go off. So here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Fill it up, yo. There we go. That's good. That's good. One guy right here. One guy. About zero point 0.7 gram right there. That's how we usually roll at 1 1/4. 0.7 of the green and a little bit of spinner. I'll be right back, man. I really do have to roast off this food for my kids. You know what I'm saying? So, no big deal. I'll be here. Just give me a sec. All right, a little bit of spinner, a little bit of push, and here we go. Here we go. Here we go. What's up, man? I sent out that join link. Don't hesitate. Please click like. Click like while you're in. Cool enough. Cheers. It's free. It's free. Do we got it on alls? Gotta have it on alls. All right, so I'll be right back, man. Roll this sucker up, and I'll be right back. Give me like 2 minutes. Work on the kids roasting, and that'll roast off for me. Please click that like. Why not? Free enough, easy. Double tap and make your voice heard. Thank you, man. Maybe we'll have a guest in a moment. I'll be right back. I wouldn't know if you heard it. I wouldn't know if you heard it. Ha ha ha. But I made it. I made it right on time. Gonna listen to some pipe organ and maybe some Aussie to go. Maybe both. What's up, hobo? How you doing, man? Ring, ring, ding, ding. This is what I just did. This is what I'm getting into. My new lighter. Lighters keep running away and fucking running out around here. Please click that like, hobo. How you doing, my brother? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Tooth, tooth is going to gnaw away. The tooth will gnaw away at the knowledge until we only have truth. Everything else will be gnawed and not. You getting into that? Yeah? Cool, cool, cool. Brother Tooth, please join in, man. You have the join in link. I'm just cooking a little dinner for them. No big deal. I got it on a timer. I got it on the side. Oh, heck yeah, Hobo. I appreciate that, my brother. Thank you, bro. I don't know. It's probably not updated anyway. You know what I mean? I'm not really looking. I just have to reiterate. I have to do the right thing. Dougie Doug's going live. Go check that out, man. I'm sure he's paneling. Join in. Go check that out. So please join in too, man. You know, I'll be like fully attentive in like 20 minutes. I just have to feed my kids. You know what I mean? Takes precedent. Hmm. I'll tell you what, I'm enjoying this. This one's hitting. Heck yeah, Hobo. No thing to that, man. I always watch your channel. I always do so as well, man. I always click link in Hobo's channel, Tooth Shorts, everything, bro. Full support, man. Full support. Whoops. Okay, 9 there. So, Dougie Doug is up live, and I'm sure he's doing a panel. I could join in there. 9 Caliber is on, you know. This one is open so far. I send it to Tooth, right? So come on up, Tooth. Here you go. There you go. There you go. Using voice. Yeah. No, of course. Yeah. For sure, Drum Tooth. Yeah, for sure. So, Tooth, recently I was dealing with my daughter and her hesitancy to do a school required test, and it was 3 days. I had to reiterate everything for 3 days. But eventually the teacher came back and said, "Thank you for telling her she did it. She finally had that day." You know what I mean? It took 3 days. No big deal. Reiterate, no problem. Here's your other reminder to double tap, click that like. You can be here, cool, but you're freeloading. And if you want your voice heard and you don't like it, click like twice on the way out. This is not for um, children. This channel is intended for adults, and that's why we got Dream Tooth up in the house because he can lead us. Hello, how you doing, Dream Tooth?
Oh, happy Sunday.
Heck yeah, man.
Awesome. I
Heck
am
yeah.
I'm made my day, you know. It's getting dark already. Went by pretty quick.
Well, man, I wasn't trying
Thank
to
you for
intrude on your live and be like, I'm going live, so stuff this. No, I was just saying, like, to be honest with you, the reason I turned on this, app is because I'm thinking of going live, and I waited. I waited. You could have drugged me along for a couple hours, no problem. But you're helping me because I do have to feed the kids. I'm just roasting their dinner, and I'll give it to them in like 10. So professional like you can take over. And look what they got now.
um,
Look what they got now. Look at this. I don't have to hang a piece of paper anymore. They got me.
Yep. Yep.
Pretty
They got
cool.
us.
Pretty cool.
Let's see if I can set my phone. There we go. Oh yeah, man. I had a good weekend. I had a good day.
Yeah.
I'm back in my changed out of my pants. I put on
Well,
my comfortable pants.
I I remember spending some time with you on Friday, so I know Friday went well. Saturday, I was hoping like maybe you did some D&D or caught up with your bros and did
Yeah,
something
I
online.
did. I did, Joe. I did. I had a good
There you go. There you go.
I had a really good session with the dudes. And somebody has some bulldogs. One of the things that came out, somebody had some purebred bulldogs to get rid of.
Okay. Okay.
That they don't want any.
Ukrainian?
They don't want any money from. They'll give them
Let's
away
start from the
free.
beginning. Explain where you were at and like how you enjoyed Saturday, and like we'll start from the beginning because now it's like an ad popped up. Somebody's got some bulldogs to get rid of. Just give them some
Yeah,
background,
we're
some
down here in
context.
South Louisiana. We're down here in the rural, uh,
No, no, no,
swampy,
no. Give them
marshy.
some context of how on Saturday night you get to meet up with your people and do your campaigns and like just explain.
Nice, yeah. Um, I've been playing D&D for 20 years, and
Okay.
with the we had one friend there that was 20 years, old friend, but so yeah, the group does change, and like one of my friends is like his wife didn't like him playing D&D for a minute, they got into
Okay.
it. So
It isn't
uh,
about the D&D. We all know this,
it's
right?
not about
She
yeah,
felt like
yeah.
she was being ignored, and then she blamed the DMD. We know what it is. Like she felt
uh,
like she was being ignored for a minute, and that was the
yeah,
excuse.
so
It could be too much Diet Pepsi this month. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter. But no, no, no. So, like, you've been playing D&D for 20 years. Have you been
and
doing it
since
online?
high school,
Right.
I'm
How did you
46 years
start?
old, so yeah.
Did you just start with local people on a table? Are they still in your group that you do
Yeah,
online?
yeah, yeah. I mean, a couple of them are that are still active. Yeah, and the group's changed, and well, the other couple of them, let's say, are 15-year-old friends.
Right.
We'll say that, and yeah, because they are friends, and oh man, Dungeons and Dragons is great. If people don't know, it's just great. It's just great fun to we get together and we collaborate on building this world with our you know character sheets, our stats, and our rule
Yeah.
books. We're going over the rules, and we're laying out
So
battle
beyond
scenarios.
it is a game, but beyond being a game, it's a matter of intellect. You get to calculate all of those things when you say your rule books. Like whatever your statistics are, you basically have to calculate. So it's an intellectual exercise to make sure
Yeah,
that you
there's a
line up
dice
with what
rolling
you're
aspect
trying
to
to
make it
accomplish.
you know to give it an element of chance when you're doing your character actions, right? It's a role playing game.
Right.
Yeah, it's a good time when you have friends with that
Yeah,
yeah.
I have children that do it, and theirs is like I think it's Kingdom Hearts based, right? So I guess that's impossible to get licenses on because that's all Disney and whatever. But they have like a Kingdom Hearts based D&D world that they're in. You know what I mean?
I
And
love that
so
there's
it's
all
really
these different
cool.
worlds.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Like little
Um,
genres. That's all. Like little niches
there's
and
some
stuff.
dark ones out there, there's like this magazine with like all this dark art, and it's like very light on the rules, and there might, you know what I mean? It's an easy, you just make up the rules. You could make up the rules, however, more rules or less rules as you want to make
Oh,
it.
okay. So you're saying there are loose borders on it? Yeah, there's loose borders on
Yeah.
the game. Yeah.
On the whole thing, I'm just kind of I kind of zoomed out a level on you, like D&D, like the whole concept of like pen and paper role playing, I guess.
Right. Right.
Yeah. And we've been interested in that. Our friend group has been, and it's been mostly like Dungeons and Dragons. Like there was like a version, one, and like a version two, and Now we're playing 3.5, even though there's like a version 5 out, right? But we're stuck on the 3.5 version with all the
It
different
sounds
rules that
like
are on.
anybody who's tied to like a Star Trek generation or whatever. They're tied to whatever that is, and they don't really need to. They don't care to step out of that. They're focused in there. You
Yeah,
got that Quantum Leap poster. That's a classic example. That's one world that existed one time, and if you can follow, you can make your analogs to your world. Let me go check the oven, man.
yeah, yeah.
I
Okay,
really
dude.
appreciate you being in, man. I can smell it, so I know it's getting close.
No worries. Yeah, with the different worlds, like you're saying too, it's a like I'm saying, the franchises could be, self-created, or people definitely make role-playing games out of like Star Trek or Star Wars worlds, um, to say. And yeah, like bulldogs, right? There's like there was like a litter of 10 bulldogs that my friend had. It was my friend was just watching this dog, and this dog squeezed out 10 puppies. So they're like, they just want these puppies out of their house. And I guess the person that owned their dog originally like went out of town and is, just staying out of town. I don't know the whole situation with, because I know bulldogs are purebred bulldogs will you can sell them for money. But I'm not a salesperson. But I was thinking about taking these dogs. I'm like, man, I could use a little bulldog around here. While Joe G's getting burning down, doing what he's got to do. Dad duties. I'll go ahead and put on. Yeah, yeah. Put on. Let's see. Music. I don't know, but yeah, it's the situations we get ourselves into, right? If I got bulldogs, that would be a definite. That'd be a lot more. Be a lot of energy flying around the house. I'm not sure. I'm not sure I have the I have
You
the
just
energy for all.
just do the proper smudging and whatnot. You'll be okay. You know what I mean? Just clear it out.
Yeah.
No negativity. You can feed on all the positivity. No problem. So yeah, I had to go check that. It looks like it's going to be about 7 more minutes. After that, I'll be totally free, man. Just I'm trying my best. Whew. Is it is it time to sesh, man? I'm trying to roll up
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
maybe you got
What's
your
up?
device. I'm trying to roll up an Afghan hemp right here.
Oh, hold on.
Let us know what you have, man. Let us know what buds you have. Oh, by the way, I guess you never went through that 420 pack, right? It was too massive to even,
Yeah,
right? That was a big bundle.
yeah. No, I dabbed that stuff up. No good. I got a NYC Piff bubble hash. This stuff is like the soft, melty brown peanut butter stuff,
Okay.
and
Okay.
that goes right on
Where do
my
you get it?
elbow, right over some.
Where do you get that? Where do you get that from? I mean, they deliver that to you?
That's that's the company Blue Ridge Bubble. His website went offline, so I hit
Okay.
him up, and yeah, so he's like no longer putting out the hash. He had like a good reputation there for a minute,
Is
but
it THCA, like certified THCA that's federally shippable or whatever,
yeah,
so to speak? Yeah. Okay.
yeah, we're
Cool, cool.
staying legal.
Right, right.
Uh, CBD. Yeah, this stuff is. I've never had any like really nice, like it's like dry sift that's been, I guess, really well sifted.
Right, right.
It like makes a.
Yeah, I was a little bit confused. Our farmer was giving us, I thought hash, but we basically got like a canister of keef.
Oh
Now,
yeah.
what I decided to do was I just kept putting my keef into that canister. So it's basically endless because as I go along, month by month, I keep topping it off, stirring it up. So I have this endless canister of keef. It's pretty cool. And I guess I should cook with it soon because I like to just take a little bit of butter and a little bit
Yeah.
of cannabis and put the cannabis on the outside and then infuse them very slowly. And then I'll take a piece of bread, wipe the whole thing up, stem, seed, whatever, wipe the whole thing up with plant material and half a piece of like Italian bread and eat it, because there's no butter in Italian bread. So all the fat is just whatever oil I put into the cannabis. So that's my way to do it, like a little piece of toast. Now, if my farmer is going to make us brownies, hell yeah. But I'm just saying,
Yeah.
what I do is very, very simple, and it takes time, and it's very intimate and laborious. I spend time with it. I'm like, no, not too hot. Oh, you move over. Like come back over to the oil. I just sit there and baby the whole situation,
Oh
make
yeah.
fun with the whole process, and then I
You're
wipe it up with
making.
one half piece of bread, and it's all gone. I just swallow that. I don't even chew it. I just let it go. Time for the effect. Oh, here
Yeah.
we go. Mine's rolled up, just so you know, and I didn't want to light it
Mhm.
without letting you know, because I
Yeah.
know you got rigs.
I got Ritz.
Rigs, RIGS. You got batteries.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we figured it out, man. I was on Ganja Kings today. He was doing his normal coffee ritual. He has like a what do you call it? A Oaxacan cup type. You know what I mean? He has like a total
Oh,
Mexican cup for his coffee. I
interesting.
freaking love it. I've told him he ignores me every time. He always wants to play down maybe the Mexican side of himself. You know what I mean? So every time I'm like, "Oh, dude, I need a coffee cup like that," he's like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah, yeah. I have one. My grandma started me on it." And I'm like, yeah, 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 that's Mexican as hell. I want one of those cups. And it's like, yeah, yeah, bro, yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
You like think he plays that down, which is so funny to me.
It's funny how people are so different. Yeah. Oh man. But
Yeah, this dude
cheers.
in our neighborhood that we're pretty good friends with, he was around the other day, and he forgot my son's name. My son's like 21 years old, so he sees him as a guy. He's a neighborhood
Yeah.
dude. He's 21 years old. He doesn't think of him as my fucking kid. You know what I mean? But he's like, yeah,
Yeah.
I forgot his name, and we were going through it, and he was talking about he's from like Navy, so the USS Lusitania or whatever it was back in the day, and like one of those other big carrier ships, he had to follow his family around to whenever they did that, and just be in certain areas where sometimes you couldn't off base do anything, so you'd be very isolated. But he was talking about when they were trapped up in what was it? He said Long Island, and he was talking about how the Italians like over there were running stuff and this and that, and my son just giggled, and I was like, yeah, because we haven't. I had to explain. I was like, because we have an Italian name, but we believe there's so much separation in the world, we never talk about it. And my son, the reason he giggled, I was like, because he also knows like in a place like that, when somebody's like, "Are you Italian?" He's like, "Yeah." He's like he knows how to use it when it's time. That's why he was giggling. Because the other dude was like, "Oh boy, it's horrible. If you're not in, you're out." My son, that's why he giggled. He was like, "Yeah, that's when we say it. Otherwise, it's meaningless, man." You ready? You got that
Hey,
thing up? I
buddy.
got mine.
Warming it up.
I
Warming it
also
up,
figured
OG.
out the.
Yeah,
I
we had the
figured out the
Cactus OG.
Cactus OG. Okay, so that's the Northwest style. All right. Let me go check that
Yeah.
food for my kids. I'll be back in 2 minutes. I got
Yeah.
mine up. Yeah, share that, man. Share that. I'll be right back. Let
Yeah.
me make sure.
Upstream
I think it's
Hemco.
done.
Yeah, we got
I
something to
think it's
share for
done, and I'm
sure.
free.
I got the QR code. Bam. Well, anyway, yeah. Just to say, got some sweet lime greenery, and it's warming up. We're going live on YouTube. My family is no, I don't talk to my family like that. I'm jealous, JoE. My my sister's like a town away. But yeah, we got friends. We had a good friendly D&D session. I killed a dire wolf, my dwarf Viking cleric. Second level. I was casting actually I wasn't casting any spells. I killed that I killed this dire wolf with my warhammer. Pretty good. Role playing action. Yeah, we take turns. We go around the table. We say what we're gonna do. We have a character sheet that gives us a set of rules like that sort of helps us outline how we're going to perform. We might roll the dice, and the dice were not rolling good last night. Yeah,
Yo, kids.
but I got one or two good rolls on the dice. I think we went fishing. One of our quests was to catch certain kinds of fish. So like you had to roll, and like if you caught a pike, like a big fish, you had to roll like a strength check, and nobody was catching these fish. We almost gave up. But finally, like we spent the whole day fishing basically. Cheers. Game time. Wow. Yeah, we're like historically we're like the Great Heathen Army kind of situation. We landed up in England, and we know we need revenge for our king. Oh man, this is so tasty. This is so potent. Yeah, guys in high school to do, and it's all guys. It's such a guy game. There's been very few girls that have played in our group, but yeah, it's more fun when you have a big. It's more fun. Like you need for D&D you need like 5 people I think to make it a good game.
Okay. So 5 people each. I'm finally back. I've gave them their food. I got mine, and I'm gonna catch up.
That was quick.
Yeah, I try to maximize. Hey, remember, everybody wants profundity of experience, but also you need impact of action. So I try to make it as absolutely razor sharp as possible. Impact of action. Second part, the hard part. Everybody wants profundity of experience.
Yeah. No, I have trouble organizing my
But that's a
activity.
good philosophy that he espouses. It's only 2 steps, Cybo.
Yeah,
It's only 2 steps.
yeah,
And then vegan comes into your place and he's having a good time and he's messing around, but he's always like, it's a happy Bobby G day. And he means it though. I mean, he means that it's happy Bobby G day. I don't think he's a vegan either. I know he eats eggs, CBD eggs. I was a vegan for a couple of weeks. I had other vegans who like didn't want to wear leather, and I was like, "Well, get it from the thrift store." I was like, somebody already paid for it, but wouldn't you like a belt that actually works? You know what I mean? Because like vegans would have belts that were all like shit. And I was like, get it from the thrift store. It's not on your hands. You're karma free. That's
yeah,
what I
man.
understand. Like karma's a bucket you either fill or keep empty.
Yeah, life is a fire. We're all burning it,
There you go.
and
Explain. No, I'd like to know. Explain.
I say it's a fire. I say I don't know, like
Living is
fire.
a fire. Yeah, existing
Yeah,
and moving on and doing things. Is that carved? That took fire. That took somebody's
this
passion
is
and
natural.
creativity.
Yeah, isn't that cool? It
Hmm.
just forms up like that, I guess.
That's wonderful. Yeah, you got a lot of geologicals. That
Yeah,
looks gorgeous.
I used to have more, and like they go away. I don't know
That
where they
looks
go
quartz.
to.
That looks quartz. It's very nice. Yeah, I keep rocks from here, there, whatever, whatever's clever and whatever makes sense.
It's what we were
One from
saying.
the funeral home my mother was at in October. One of those. And I've seen those stones and been around those stones for a long time, but at that point, it finally became significant, and I picked it up. You know, it didn't matter before, but it's always been there. That's the abundance. Everything is already there. All the resources in the world, flat, flat, flat. Nobody really owns them, and they'll take them from you. So be careful. You ever have some gas station marauders in your day? Some beer runs, some people doing wild things, trying to steal ice or grape soda, or ever? I know you
Not
have.
like
You've
that
had a night or
exactly,
two.
but
After 12, they had to grab some ice house or something.
yeah, I guess you're right. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Come
There's a
on,
few.
man. You
Been a
know what
few.
I'm talking about. I'm from gas stations and convenience stores too. I love highways. I understand them.
Yeah, man. It's a good it's a good town to be in. Where I am. I mean, we're just a highway. That's all we are. You know, there's no other land, so it's
Yeah,
all
me too.
highway.
Me too. Yo, Poppy Carl, it's not where I'm from.
Uh,
Where I'm from, I'm not welcome. But where I'm at, yes, it's just a highway. There's a certain comfort in that. The birds don't know. They hang out over here. A lot of this untouched ground, it's because the Bridge, River, and Highway Association will never touch it. They have no choice. So it's all vined up. But then at the same time, people are like, that's where you should dump your paint or cans that you can't recycle easily. You know what I
that's
mean?
what I'm
And
dealing with.
so it all
Yeah.
works. And, it works in all
Yeah.
those directions. So what's up, Poppy Carl, man? Cheers to you, man. If you ever
Don't
get
get
some
me
more,
started, Joe G.
if you ever get some more Cubenzas to send this, I'm here. I'll show you. We'll make some tea. How was your tea, Poppy Carl? Let's recount. Cheers to you, man. I got that joint going. I was a couple minutes behind you, but I've definitely been hitting it. Happy Bobby G. That's what Vegan says. Happy Bobby G Day. You lost your job, dude.
Dude.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. He was watching an older guy under the tutelage of his family there. He knew he was going to lose it at some point soon, actually, Poppy. It's a very independent job, so I understand why you're happy to do it and be in service for that many years. But, yep, it's time to move on, man. Oh, he's going into hospice. Okay, so they're doing it in that way. Yeah, I mean, you already knew you were overstretching and like administering medication, and you were doing things that were pushing towards that level of up leveling. You know what I mean? Oh, dude, I had to deal with my sister today. It was like, mm, it was. I knew what it was. I knew it was late Mother's Day over spill, and it was not just about my sister, but about her daughter. She's telling me how they find it intolerable and they can't live without my mom, and I'm like, but you knew it. Like, you knew it, right? We all do it, and you knew it, and I cannot help you. I told you that before. If you guys really have a issue, man, you have got to accept it. I said, I don't even know how to say that, it was its time. We all have our time, and I don't even think it was a bad time. But that's for me. I totally empathize with you. I just can't help you. If you and she both need help with that, you need to talk to somebody who can help you, because you cannot say that, it's intolerable to live without her, because that's not real. And like, I almost want, like, there's some back part of my mind that's like, that's a scam if you fell for that, because it's temporal being human. You have to, move on and make changes and understand that they're going to leave. So one part in my back of my mind is like, don't be scammed. No, you do not. Your existence is not dependent on the existence of another entity. No. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to say that with heartlessness. I want to say that just honestly. It's like, it's as good of a time as any because that's what actually happened. Now you have to accept it. I'm surprised.
Well, it's an
I'm
art. It's
empathetic.
an art to get people to let you into their secret life, I guess.
Yeah. So, Poppy Carl, the only reason I bring all that out, and, like you said, I don't really do much personal. Well, maybe that's semi personal, Poppy Carl, but, really, I'm doing that just to relate the fact that I understand that, the man that you have, been working for is in transition. You've made extra extensions. Like I'm saying, in my family alone, same sort of thing. Extra extensions. It's like, maybe they shouldn't be doing what they were doing. Then my other sister, the only one who even replied to me, apparently was in bed, like, like unresponsive or whatever for the day of Mother's Day. But she's the one who responded to me. So how did I even know that till today? See, so it's not even personal stuff. It's just like I want to relate that to you, to understanding that, man, you got to cope. I understand that you got a new situation. The situation that you were in, though, maybe you were in over your head anyway. It's time to let that go and move on. You'll have something easier, man. Do some newspaper distribution. What a good job. Just drop off a couple of bundles of things and shake hands with people that you see every day, make friends. And what a wonderful job, man. It's like being retired but being paid. Try that one, Poppy. Magazine distribution. You already have a car. I don't even have a car. I would have to set that up first. I'm trying to do fireworks stand over here because I don't need a car for that. I'll walk. I don't need a staff because I got kids. All I need is a key.
We all need that bag.
Yeah, I make a bag, man, here and there. I stitch it together little by little. I don't need much. We're happy, man. I hear a lot of people who, well, I mean, I've been in these places where they have exclusive deals. If you manage this, you can't work anywhere else because you have to, exclusive deals. And then people are like, unsatisfied with that, and I'm like, why? Like, you'll be just as happy and unhappy at another bracket. Just now you know what your lifestyle is. Just go on with it. Dance, dance, dance. Like Shiva through, Shiva through. It's nice to know what's expected of you. It's nice to know what you're working with. Let's say a budget is small, but at least it's guaranteed. You know what you're working with. Let's go. Dance, dance, dance. Cut here and add there. I don't know, man. I don't get stressed about a tooth. I have a great time, man. Life is endless. It's an endless ride. I wouldn't know when I fall off.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's fine. I mean, I think you're so funny to me. Like you have some you have like some cadences in your voice and like the way you hold yourself. It reminds me of my uncles. You're extremely funny, Joji.
Well,
You're
that's
funny,
funny
dude.
because your uncles. I mean, I'm your age, but hi, Asia. How you doing? How
Yeah,
old are
yeah.
you,
I it's just I think it's the
No,
tone of your
it's
voice. Like
okay.
it
It's
just
okay.
some yeah.
I'm totally like trying to like ham it up and entertain, So that's what your uncles did. They were just putting on a show. Yeah, I got your attention now, right? Ha ha ha! Here, watch this one. Look, my
Hey,
finger's
what I
broken. Look, my
do?
finger's broken. Ooh. Yeah, man. Nah, no, no, no. It's nice. I love hanging out with you. You're a very peaceful and thoughtful person that, you don't have any animosity towards anybody. You're just trying to get through it. And whack a mole where a mole shows up, whack it down. Fair enough.
Well, maybe that's just the persona I'm trying to get. No.
I see you doing it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I see you processing.
I have my autistic friend that live streams every day. He's really good at it.
my friend with autism, people first language now. Come on now.
Yeah.
I'm the father with autism children. What,
Yeah.
I can't even say it. Like that doesn't even make
It's
sense
hard
anymore.
to-
I'm just telling you what they say to me.
yeah. Yeah.
People
I don't
first
know the
language
point.
now.
Moving and the poetry of mankind. Moving
Anyway,
through.
anyway. No, no, no. So you have some friends that understand your
I
neurodiversity and
was
they
just
may
thinking
have
today
their
about my yeah, like and trying to get them to understand how they're in their, survival behavior. They're in their like reaction. They're in their
own.
high masking or their,
Yep.
anyway. But
Masking is one thing because there's an awareness to it, but like you said, when you get into that survival mode and you're 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 not masking, you're grasping. Now you're like one of those trapped raccoons, just like
yeah, yeah.
it's not productive. It's not productive to be like that.
There's
Not that
emotional
reactive mind.
repercussions when
That reactive
you're
mind you were
putting
talking
so
about.
much of yourself into like a false self. I don't know. That's how it seems to me.
when you
I feel
when you spoke of it, and it is reactive mind, but you say it like that. See, that's that thing. Like I would
yeah,
never give somebody a Scientology book because in the back they ask for your address. But if you could read, and I've read it in Spanish, the book is Scientologia by L. Ron Hubbard, and you can read it without any affiliation to any group, and you can
yeah,
use the knowledge of, hey, how about a water fast? How about taking a look at things and taking a step back for a minute? Like if you could use that,
yeah,
I would be able to say, check it out,
yeah.
but I can't. I can't.
Right.
People get hooked up into the other shit. And it's not their fault.
When we look at our
Everybody is
past, it's like, yeah, that's
programmed
it's a
for that
filter.
taste.
Yeah.
We keep going, pushing the bar, like, little cocaine rats, tasty taste. Little cocaine rats, it's good. Whoops, whoops. Oh, day. I remember that was the best mushrooms I ever had. I made this like I closed my eyes and I was going through these like silver tubes of forever with like lights around, and I was like, "This is when I died," and I was like, "I'm sorry." I just left. I was like, it wasn't my fault. It wasn't against you. I'm sorry. Oh boy, did we have plans tomorrow? Did we have plans next week? I didn't mean it. I didn't know, but I'm going. And it's like I'm sorry, and it's just like I was like, that's what's gonna happen. There's gonna be a lunch that I scheduled on Wednesday that we don't make, and that's how I'm gonna feel about it. I'm gonna be like, I'm sorry. And I really hope that you guys understand. It's no big deal. That was what I saw. It's no big
Feeling is
deal.
the language of the soul. That's a
Yeah.
word there. And words are things. Words are,
Yes.
no.
What you were saying is yes, words don't directly manifest when you were talking in the chat. No, they don't. So you're
Yeah.
not going to be satisfied if you go that way, right? But you have to have a thought, a word, a blueprint, and everything before anything exists.
No,
So
I was actually saying like the just clocking like the autistic anxiety in my friend, and like,
okay.
yeah, basically. Yeah. But yeah, we're just chatting. So it's like,
No, I absolutely love it because, like you say, represent for neurodivergence, represent for that community. And I'm telling you, my children, they all have, at least some
yeah,
foot into ASD, other diagnoses as well, different things. You know what I mean? What
right,
does
right.
that mean? What does that mean? It means that they're unique. It means that they are like many of us are initially before we meet um, restrictions and reservations of the world and make our coping, which we all do. And it may take them three times more. That more of those mistakes to learn. You know how they say they
We get
learn from their
brought up in
mistakes.
Western culture. Yeah, this is the way we do things. Me and you are doing things a cultured way.
We're trying to do it with the respect and the decorum that's required of today. We're trying, right? I mean, I'm not
Dignity,
gonna
human
like start
dignity
pulling
comes to
my
mind.
hair out in
Yeah.
front of you. I'm not gonna start pulling my hair and toenails out in front of you and jumping up and down. you know, we're trying, man. It could happen, but I'm trying not to.
Turn into the monkeys. Yeah. Oh, it
Well, it's
happens.
more like unleashing, right? It's not turning into. It's just
Yeah.
unleashing it. And they call it, what is it called? It's called Pepper's Ghost, right? Where they take one piece of glass and another piece of glass, and so you can superimpose the person that's in this room, in a photographic way to the middle, and that's where like Sheena of the Jungle turns into the gorilla, and then the bars fall down and the lights go, and everybody's like, you know what I'm talking about? Like the carnival exhibit where they have like a tied up jungle woman, and it's
I
just
can
a pepper
imagine the
spray
effect, I
glass effect,
guess. Yeah.
turns into a gorilla. We could do that, man. We could do it. Ready?
Yes, sir.
No, I used to have fun doing stuff like that. I would do it like to make art. So I would use like a light and piece of glass and mirror and whatever, and then like project and draw over. I had
Yeah.
this weird dream. I tried to make a movie with a Super 8 camera, and it was from my neighbors. But I thought that the other cartridges were empty, so I put them in like a Super 8 camera, like the cartridges, and I shoot this whole movie. I think, and I go through. It's already been developed. It's their shit. Like it's a it's like what do you call that? Like there's no negative, so it's a source positive or whatever.
Double exposure.
Well, I mean, whatever it is, it's a source positive. Like once you're done, it's written. It's like you don't have a negative to write from, you know.
Yeah.
So whatever that's called. So I didn't realize that. So sometimes I have these dreams about it, and the end sequence of the movie in my mind is using that sort of effect of a reflective projection to have this like human being like shave off all this extra hair and all this funny stuff, in a non-real way, but then expose themselves, but also tree climbing and not really assimilating, just looking more normal.
So you're a
I think
visual thinker, like a little
no,
bit.
I'm a completely non-linear thinker. That's why nobody can. Yeah, I don't even know me.
You don't know.
Yeah, I can't thumb it down because I'm a completely non-linear thinker. I'm reactive too. I enjoy it. I don't even know.
Um,
Now, I
Break
also,
the
like I said,
bones.
I value
Yeah.
being productive. It's hard to value being productive and be non-linear all the time. What it means is I have to tell myself, don't jump. Wait until you have the clear thought and then jump. Don't jump when you're just meandering, when you're just in thought, when you're just in clouds. Don't jump
Yeah.
because you'll probably waste time.
Yeah.
You know?
I know that feeling. Yeah. That's a
Something like that. That's the best I could
something like
say.
that. Joe, Jay. So I picked up a sketchbook. I'm gonna be the greatest artist there ever was.
Visual artist. Here we go. I'm gonna be
Yeah.
the best at paper airplanes real soon.
Oh yeah. Oh, did you make the world's best paper airplane yet?
No, no, but I made like a nice like a NASA craft the other day. It really goes really smooth and
No, but there's this particular design of a glider. I
I'd
think you
love to
could
know. Yeah, tell me, man.
I think you could Google
Hey,
search
Miss
world's
Lou, how
best
you
airplane.
doing?
So when you make it right, you toss it, it does a loop, right? It goes way out and does a big ass loop, right? And then it glides and glides and glides if you get it right. And
Man,
it goes far. It goes really far.
we made one that we could not believe, Tooth, because no matter what you do with it, soft, hard, whatever, you throw it, it flips once and it goes.
Yeah.
And it'll go forever and it'll glide forever. But it
And
flips once. You can throw it further, you can throw it harder, it flips once. And
I
it's
just
like the
heard somebody
same space.
mention that one.
I was like,
Yeah,
whoa.
it must
What's
be
up,
a
Dusty?
popular
What's up,
one.
Tasha? How you doing? This is Tooth. You know Tooth?
I love how the information on the internet it keeps changing, right? Like year after year, like things won't be there, or some things will be there.
Yeah, everything gets boring. You can't watch season 4. I'm sorry. If you're watching this show at season 4, I apologize. It's boring. Even even Better Call Saul got boring, and you could just put
No,
in
bro,
Odenkirk writer.
no.
Odenkirk is the
No,
best writer
don't.
ever.
We don't have to be concluding about boredom level here. This is not the time for that.
I'm about to quit. I'm passing the channel off to Ever Inferno soon. He can have it, man.
Back to the 80s, he'll kick it.
Right, right. I want to watch Cool Runnings. That's what I'm waiting for. I
Okay.
don't. I have to wait. Amazon Prime says they'll have it in a minute, right? And then I got to make sure that my prepaid card has $6.99 for Amazon Prime. You know what I mean? Like, and I'll probably find out
I
that
got
I don't
scammed,
before I
JoE.
do.
I got scammed from a Facebook ad.
Did you really? Free
Yeah.
shipping? Everything's free shipping. Best deal.
You want to hear? I'll tell you the whole story.
Yes, sir. We do want to hear. I'll push fucking mute. I'm seriously want to hear.
I bought I clicked on the gum, one of those gums that help restore your enamel and shit. And it's a place called the Wellness Boutique. Don't click on that one because yeah, I just ordered it. I sent them 20, 30 bucks for, whatever packs of gum. And it just doesn't exist. It's not a real. I don't know what they're gonna do with my information. Probably sell it, I guess. I don't know. I don't know how that works.
Hey, Dream
My
Twos. We
card
have a
wasn't
big
like charged. My card wasn't like charged again and again so far. I'm watching it, but
Poppy said once enamel is gone, it's gone.
well, so do I need to? I need to call my bank and ask for a chargeback.
That's like this, guys. He's talking about stripping. Like, if you make a fucking, if spend 9 months on your outdoor weed crop and the strippers show up 2 days before it's harvest time, you lost everything, and that's exactly true. Once the enamel's gone, it's gone. So, she said she doesn't know who it is. I'm going to write it here. Hold on a second, because I know it goes in reverse, right? It's Dream Tooth, right? So here we
Dream
go.
T. Yeah, it's Dream Space T. But
I'm trying to
my
make it work for
my
anybody here.
my hand exercise. Yeah, I need to
There
call
you
my
go.
bank
There you
and
go.
ask for a chargeback. They can do something for me. Dream Tooth. Fire, fire, fire. I am doing so good. I'm doing so good. I had enough energy to cut my grass yesterday. But yeah, everybody's on YouTube now. What are we doing?
Gonna make some makeup right here, real quick. Gonna do a tutorial.
What do you say, man? What are you doing? You a good boy? You trust me? You trust me. We're clean boys. Yes. We is the clean boy. We is the clean boy.
There you go. I think I'm done. See you later.
Okay. Yeah. You ever got scammed?
No, only my father. I should have told him, but I saw him do it. No, I've never been scammed because I've been on the telephone since like 1984 with all the worst like hackers that ever existed. So I understand every fucking angle. I used to have to legitimately deal with people who had Discover cards, and they do not understand what credit
Oh.
cards are. And so that was like they always thought they were being scammed, and I'm like, you're not, except for that they're taking advantage of a population that has no idea what the fuck they're doing. Like you're kind of being scammed. I don't really know how to explain this to you. Not in this call. You know what I mean? Like life is fucking weird. Nope, I've never been scammed. I was
uh,
I was literally working in a carnival when I was 8 years old. I was ready for the scam, and my
but
children don't even know. Like, and they act like some of their background without even knowing. They don't know anything about Philadelphia, where my father's from, and New Jersey, but they act like out of the womb. Like like we never
yeah,
said a
genetic
word.
memory is real. I was
They
telling
barely
somebody the
know
other
that.
day about my. I mean, you recover these fragments, like around tobacco. There's been a few. I get a
Hey,
sense of like.
nicotine in your potatoes, man. Eat your potatoes.
Um, the other
Enjoy.
thing I wanted to say to you, I got some cucumbers coming out the ground. So nature does not disappoint. Nature does not scam. So I'm happy about that.
Good, good. Yeah, yeah, yeah. All those like squash, cucumbers, peppers, like all those good growing plants, they're so nice. You know what I mean? Like that's why they call weed too. It kind of grows pretty easy, right?
Yeah.
I wonder what's happened. Oh, I think I might have a sprout or two over here because I wasn't supposed to do this, but I had to ask for seeds back from my wife. I think I might have a sprout or two.
All right. So those are targets, dudes to shoot at.
He's talking about like man to man kind of stuff, like stuff he
Okay.
does. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Stuff he does. He's in Texas, It's different. Everything's big over there.
I've been to Montana. I've been to most of the states, I think. Like more than half of the United States. Been around. But it
I
sounds like
haven't
you
been
lived
back.
an interesting life, Joji. You've done things with the
No, I've never
phone.
been in Texas. I'm from Maryland. I've always been around DC.
Mm.
No, no, no. Poppy's in Texas. Poppy sent me some psilocybin mushrooms from Texas like 20 days ago. I did. That was really nice. Really nice. I needed that. My wife has the other half. She probably did them. I don't know. I don't know. But thanks, Poppy, man. But next time I'll do tea as well. And I know you know what that means. That's the way. It'll hit you within a few minutes and just really get out all at once. But nah, man, we're chilling. We got some free buds. We got that Poppy calls so small. That's why I said everything's bigger in Texas. He says the buds are so small that's like what he ashes, like those minis. That's Texas ash, bro. But I'm about to roll another, man.
Let me put the phone down here. Yeah. Boom. Boom.
Yeah, so you tasted all those different sugars and rosins and things.
Yeah, they were all right. Magnet hemp. Yeah.
What's the effect like? I mean, I know it's all of it's like calming and all of
It's
that good
like
stuff.
it's I mean hmm, it's like one note, it's supposed to like flower. It's not yeah, the effect is just I guess like relaxing, I guess.
Because if you think about it, sometimes people generally they bundle up everything that's like middle ground so that you get it all at once, and then you get kind of a decent deal and you don't care. So I
Yeah, that's
just wonder because
bro. I still have so much. I still have all that dry sift I haven't even dug into, and it's really good. It's sativa dry sift, but
okay, cool.
I've been curbing back a lot lately. Like I just haven't been wanting to smoke as much for
You got to
whatever reason.
maintain the tolerance too. You don't want to get all inundated all at once because your tolerance will screw you
I mean,
over.
yeah, I thought I did there for a minute. You know, it was looking like I was going to, but then I was
Yeah,
like, oh, okay, I guess
oh yeah.
not.
When you were talking about percentages, yeah, you were talking about the percentages of your hash plus the flour that you were throwing in, and yeah, you were
Yeah,
probably hitting too
my
much. You
blood
know,
can only
about
hold so
70%.
much.
Yeah, probably because like what happens tomorrow when you just wake up with a normal a 2 egg breakfast? You didn't have an omelet like yesterday, and now all of a sudden you're hungry.
People forget. People forget. Your stomach is a certain size.
That's the tolerance deal, your lung capacity or whatever.
Cycles. It all has to cycle through. Cheers.
Cheers, man. Cheers, man. Yeah, this is a little one, but I've got it going again. I'm sure
I
when
don't
you
know
get
what this. I
that.
just turn it off. I can save the rest of the bowl. Giant hash toke. You know what I mean? And just I'll be good, maybe. You know.
Yep, yep.
Um,
Let us know what the turbs taste like, man.
that was a pretty muted, to be honest. The lime flower of the cactus OG, and then like the really earthy, of the hash. It's not so much of an incense type of floral hash to like allow all that flower floralness to come through. It's really just earthy, so earthy like. There's a little bit of pine in there. It's it kind of like mutes it all. You kind of muted it a little bit, but uh, yeah, I like that earthy. I had it. Oh, it's on my tongue now, man. It's like I just licked some. I don't know, like
My
licked a
tongue's getting
tree.
more. My tongue's getting more. My tongue's getting more stung. Because like last time I could totally taste this,
Oh
but now
yeah,
it's more like I've hit a licorice or something, to where I can't taste it. It's the same fucking bud, but last
yeah.
time I could taste everything. Now that it's all in my face, it's more like I'm already stung. Like I have this licorice or nettle, sort of reaction, or even like those weird preservatives. Like you get like Mexican whatever, like
Yeah.
snacks, right? And they're so like the Barcells or whatever. They're so overly like
What's a
conditioned
good
or
one?
whatever with
I don't think
preservatives
about the
that
Mexican
you
snack.
can't taste them. You can't taste them because those chemicals hit you first. Tasha will know because Tasha's, right? Tasha, well, she said goodbye, but
It's
she's in chemical farming. She says that first thing you taste with the Coca Cola is the phosphoric acid, and they do that. They just like chemical farm that.
the sulfurs. I think is what it is. It gases the back, like you feel the gaseousness or something in the back of your throat. Is that what you're talking about? Like,
Yeah, she says that first like sparkly hit is phosphoric acid because
oh,
that's
okay,
one of the things that her family in Africa mined was the phosphoric acid to go to Coca Cola. You know what I'm saying? Like stuff like
oh, I
that.
see.
Yeah, yeah, like
Well,
super
and if it's really
specific.
terpy, it will burn those volatiles, all the different terpenes. They'll burn your tongue. But
Yeah,
I don't.
so I'm
Yeah,
saying, like, this bud, it's really good, and I could taste all the pepper, I could taste
yeah,
all the
yeah.
pineapple, I could taste everything last time, but this time my tongue is like numb to it. It's like I had licked a licorice or something, and it's just like, yeah, you're inundated. You can't taste it anymore. Now it's just smoke, like cedar. I don't
I
sit on
uh,
here and cough a lot. I hope people realize that because I see a lot of channels where people cough a lot. I'm puffing, and I'm puffing commercial cigarettes that have flavor because I don't
bro,
even mind.
oh my gosh, I'm so glad my friend didn't cough a lot last night. We were at my other friend's house. His girl was sleeping, and he's
Right.
like, "Keep it down, guys." But the one cigarette smoker in the group, just come from back outside, and he's like, it was like, oh man. But the
But
other,
it's like,
like last month when we gathered together, he just kept going, bro. I was like not having it, but I didn't say anything. But I was like, bro.
it's Uncle Steve. Like every like three hands of poker, he's like, "Yeah, man, I gotta go step outside." Uncle Steve comes back. Yeah, my girl's asleep over there. Sorry,
He was coughing so loud, JoE.
Uncle
It's the
Steve.
loudest cough I ever heard. And he delivered the same cough again, last night, but not as many times. So
Right, right, right. There you
I
go,
was,
man.
yeah, I get like my autistic brain. I mean, I get so I can't focus on anything else.
Right, right,
Like I get
right.
that laser focus thing.
Oh
And
man, look,
it's
even
fine. It's
like,
fine if I'm in a place like like it'll land me in these different places. Like, yeah, I'm a dude. I
one
want
of
to
the
be
things,
right.
I'm trying to like, streamline and clean up myself, right? So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna take these dangling, I have a Tibetan, and then I have this other one that our kid made as like a bookmark, and I keep taking them off, but I'm like, no, 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 our kid made it, and this is a person like you're saying that had those kind of reactions, part of his autism is that, like,
Mm.
could succeed really well and start moving up the social chain, but being looked at and being like, I don't want to be looked at, and like these things would happen, and I'm like, yo, I want to clean up this and just get these off. I can't though, because one without the other or whatever. And you know what I mean? It's like I'm trying to do it for your mom.
Oh man.
Your mom, but I'm actually held back by my connection. I'm held back by my connections. My empathy is stronger than my intelligence again.
There's a reason for it. Gotta be. Or not.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. No, I know how to fucking roll with the punches, man.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And like I think there's gonna be a Jew out there who's gonna know the answer, but you can't lie to them ever. No, I
Yeah,
don't.
a gin maybe. A
Something,
gin
yeah.
is the answer that you
You could
can't
say
lie to.
something, yeah. People.
No, 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 no. And I apologize too, because you're like, you're talking about demons and you get upset. I mean, I'm not. I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not. Those are demons are, the Greek word for inspirations. They're just little pesky thoughts, stones in your shoe. I can do any allegory that I want, and that's how, all those things work, is they work in Florida language and allegory. And we learn from those stories that we can relate to and say, "Ooh, don't get into that, man. You definitely don't have to jump into the puddle to understand it'll get you dirty." That's what allegory is for.
Mm.
I'm trying not to ward, scare you off with something. What are you rearranging? Have you ever heard of a starlight geode or starlight rock? Because apparently off grid is sending me one that has garnet in it, and I can see that there's like garnet, pointing out, which much in the deeper area must be much more than you can see. All they do is glint, so
Wow.
there's just points of what's underneath, what's underground. It's really cute.
Geodes are awesome. I don't know if I heard of that one, but show me
Starlight.
nothing.
I don't know. I haven't. It's the first time, but I'm about to receive it, I suppose. So I'll show you.
Um, yeah.
He carved
No,
me a pipe
so
out of a horn, like a,
so
elk antler, an elk antler.
mm,
So that's like double the length of the. I had a deer antler pipe before, but it's like totally double the length. I can't wait. I'm glad
my
I.
friend has a that I was at the other night. He has a nice slice of I mean, maybe it was a trunk, or maybe it was a tree limb, a petrified wood, you know.
Right,
And it's so fucking heavy,
right.
and it's all
Oh, is it lacquered? Like the lacquered type?
No, it's just raw.
Oh, okay.
It's just been
Petrified.
polished, right?
It's petrified.
Yeah, petrified wood that's been it's was solid, piece, and it's been chopped and polished.
Wow.
Um, and it doesn't look all uniform in the middle, like like when you chop a real tree, it's all wood color, same thing. No, this was all different colors, and sort of all different types of mineralization processes.
Wow.
Anyway, yeah, fascinating to me.
Is it done or will it continue to change over time?
That's why I think it might continue to even change. He might have said something like that, even. I don't know.
Yeah. I wonder. I wonder. Because, like I said, when people have a slice, usually it's like lacquered out. It's like all ambered in, and then
No,
they just
no,
keep it
no.
forever.
I mean, it's petrified wood. It's a rock. It's not. It's stable.
Right. 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 Yeah.
It's very stable. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, it happened. Like it's so heavy. It's so dense. There's nothing more that can like go into it, or it's a fucking rock. Anyway, who knows, bro?
Well,
But I've
yeah,
heard of people's
we
rocks
lose
like
mass. We lose mass because we lose moisture. You know what I mean? So
right,
you
but
got
yeah, I have heard of people's quartz rocks. People saying their quartz have grown and just like cracked naturally.
Mhm.
Just because who knows?
Hey, we haven't. Nobody's been here 3,000 years to tell us. They've only been telling us for 149 years by radio or whatever. So we don't know. We don't know.
We got the technology. We feel so smart.
Make a simple little quartz receiver or whatever. Get your hands in the dirt.
You know what? Yeah, buddy. So good.
I got my
That's just
potato. I
about
got my
that's
potato
just about how I
battery.
come across.
I got my potato battery charging up this phone right now, man. We're
Yeah.
moving at 54 baud.
That's awesome.
All right, let me roll up. This is one of the strains from October from the actual harvest from our um, farmer. So this is really good. Like there's only two that I have right now. And even I asked about brownies, and the farmer's like, I don't know. We got to look at our materials before we make you a pound of brownies. I don't know. So this is really good to have. And when I get that hand carved like elk horn, I definitely have to have a good bug to put in. So I'm glad I found this shit.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I'm a pretty private guy in terms of like I just don't hang
We
around
know.
with my friends like for very long, for very long. Like I just don't tolerate extended, just sitting around. What are we doing? I don't know.
Yeah, we know, man. We know.
Yeah, I
I
know
mean,
you
I've always
know.
been like that.
I
I've always
know.
wanted to be of purpose. That's why I used to play music and stuff.
And I'm becoming the teller of my own story. I'm,
Yeah.
I'm the master of this. I'm the master narrator, or master debate. I don't know. Master. Yeah, it's good. I'm learning. Like I was learning. More perspective taking, less overthink, less like hyperfixating, whatever. Anyway.
Who's the host of Dream Tooth Theater? He's the host of Dream Tooth Theater. Yeah, you're curating the story,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
what it
yeah.
should be.
Sometimes it's
I mean,
Twilight Zone episode.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, either way, it's kind of like it's basic cable without 21 people. You can do it yourself. You can just turn on your phone and have a day. And I
Um,
tune in, don't I? And I try to say, hey, when you're done with that task, hey, hello, you know what I mean? Like in between, but I tune in. So there's our broadcast. There's our window into your world. Here's my new lighter. My lighters have been
oh,
just
cool.
running out all the time. All of them run out all the time. Crazy. It's not about weed because look,
Yeah.
the reason I smoke joints all the time, it doesn't take two hands like a bowl does. So I'm actually not taxing my fucking lighters because I drink so much that I need another hand.
Hydration. Hydration time.
So when they run out for no reason, I notice. You know what I mean? Like I know there's an unbalance in the line. Cheers, everybody.
There's
Crossfade. Crossfade.
one sec.
Have you made a hash hole joint like by putting a tube of some of that hash in the middle? Or even the live
I don't
rosin?
smoke too much. I'm here. I haven't really smoked. I take like a puff here and there, but no.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, it's Powerade?
Yeah, I got some orange Powerade. Killed it.
Electrolyte, man.
Never mind.
Powerade has much more electrolytes than the other brands, by the way. What's up, Space Monkey? How you doing, brother?
Yeah, grocery store dudes, we know what's up.
Right? We got Tooth, man. I'm sure you remember Tooth, right, Space Monkey? How did I do it? Oh, I wrote it both ways, right? Shit.
Yeah, yeah, that's cool. Cool of you.
I
Very
don't know
much
where I threw it
appreciated.
though. I lost it. Let me
Yeah, we
look
just
for
had
1 second. Where the fuck did that go? Hold on, hold on.
we had Autism Awareness Month last month.
Oh yeah.
And I posted on Facebook. I posted on my Facebook. There's this guy creating a website who's trying to make like a portal for like GoFundMe pages and like helping people get their GoFundMe page up and like just why we should donate to each other and uh I don't know, it seemed cool, so like I just posted it. I'm just like, I found my voice, this is who I am. Facebook family and friends, like we need help out here.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
we're
yeah, yeah,
cool.
yeah.
We're cool.
Oh
We're
yeah.
just and
You
we're
already
posting
been
on social
connected with my
media. I mean,
Facebook.
we're just chilling. We're just
You're
but
connected
yeah.
with my Facebook, right? My Facebook, by the way, guys, is on my YouTube. So if you go to mine, it's there. I know Space Monkey. I believe you already know, but that's Dream Tooth. But my Facebook is on YouTube, so you can connect to that. It's not by my name either, which is weird. But I always said if they made me do it, I wouldn't do it. So my Facebook.com/ is horror HORROR biz BIZZ, and that's just the way it's always been. They want to do the Joseph dot, my name, or whatever. But if they ever did that, I said I'll leave. But it never happened. So I left it as horror biz with two Z's, ZZ.
Really? I'll show you a business card I have. My friend's tattoo parlor is called Horror Business.
Horror business, yeah.
He's got a Nosferatu on his business card. I don't know where I have it right now at the moment.
Yeah, mine is just it was on my eBay. My eBay was horror HORROR like normal BIZZ. And I don't have, I've been banned, lifetime banned from PayPal, and I can't fix it. And they said I could, but I can't. I'm lifetime banned.
Oh,
It's
that's a bitch.
Yeah. But anybody, you can join my Facebook, and I'm connected with YouTube's over there. And if you want to talk to other people, let them know. But your YouTube channel is easy enough, right?
All right, and Joji, you're such a cultured dude. But anything I could do to support your voice, yeah, love hanging out with you.
Just hang out. That's all I ask. I'm not asking for anything, man. I'm
Yeah,
trying to, get other people to connect with you when they have time because I hang out there. I could spend a lot less time here.
So the
And I
guy who's
especially don't make the
bulldogs,
weekends much. But
the guy who has the bulldogs, he has like a telescope. He's been posting his shots of like fucking Horsehead Nebula and like Pinwheel Galaxy or whatever.
oh
Really
yeah,
amazing
like
when you see.
astrological shit, right? Yeah, that's
Yeah,
nice.
yeah. For
Nice.
whatever reason, it's like when it's local, like I'm like, golly, that's so cool. Like that specific, light had to travel, to catch the Earth. They have like this like they have this technology fueled, devices like that integrate with the telescope to like track the freaking
Man, I had this device tooth one time, and it was nothing but a light bulb projector in essence, but it had a star map on it and it had fucking coordinates. So you could tune it to today, and you could put
Mm,
your night sky above yourself in your room. And
that's
it was
awesome.
maddening, like because it was like ceremonial magic, like in sort of
Yeah,
specific. You know what I mean? It was maddening, and because you'd
yeah.
have to put in your coordinates, and you could over and over and over. So one of these movers, like they stepped on it, and I was like, "Oh, thank God!" And so I told the owner, I was like, "Oh, that was $120," and he's like, "Okay, I'll PayPal you or whatever." So he just gave me the money back, and I was like, "I'm so glad to not fuss with that thing anymore."
Cursed item.
It's broken. Whoops. I was so
It
glad
has
to
to be
get my
cursed
money
item.
back.
Yeah.
I got 100% of my money back, man. It was easy to throw away.
Yeah, man. Don't talk about I'm raw. $20, $30 down the drain for stupid gum that wasn't even I find out now it's not even gonna work. Stupid
Yeah,
gum. Yeah,
it happens all the time.
you gotta risk it.
Deck of cards is not much of a gamble. It's no big deal.
Yeah.
We never have too many. There we go. I got it lit again. Hell yeah. Oh shit! Did I lose you too? Shit. I think I lost Tooth, man. Well, I'm gonna do the remove thing with no disrespect, Tooth, because you can come back anytime you want. I don't even think I have to let you in, right? You could probably just come back. So Psycho 78, 12 o'clock. Don't be late. All this horribleness. My mirrors are black. It don't go in the back house with me. You can't run to, baby. But back He's in with the Z, man. What's up? What's up, Outlaws? Got a little bit of a bowl piece here. Got a little bit of a leftover here. So you're in with the Z, bro. Keeping sessions in the house. What's up, yo? Here we go. Here we go. All right, let's get it. Let's get it all the way. All right, here we go. We're stuck. All right, we're stuck. This is one of my two that is left from October. This is one of my two strains. This will be gas candy, actually. This is gas candy. I know it is. All right, so boom, gas candy. Time to hit it up with a brand new lighter because I've been having lighter disease where they keep running out, you know. So, as the mushy says here, stop with me, you know. So, here we go. About to hit him up, about to hit him up. Jeez. Hold on, hold on. I'm about to do it. Well, dang, man. All right, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Mandalic? Mandalic, yes, it is. Okay, here we go. There we go. All right, and then here we go. We got an Afghani hemp, Afghan hemp, beautiful paper, 199. My wife bought. I don't know why. I better open this door. Now that being said, I was like, yes, yes. I'll be right back. Hey, Ari, Ari, stop. Hey, kid, stop it. Ari, Ari. It's a vegan, man. It's a vegan. Here we go. I taste lemon. I taste skunk. I taste skink. Yo, Sean the Bond, what's up, my brother? Sean is upside down, man. Sean is upside down, man. Hey, yo, brother. Just sharing a vegan J, man. Listening to Green Day, bro. Mm, Ozzy, but I'd rather be listening to Green Day, right? Cheers, brother. Cheers, brother. I would rather be listening to Green Day. Cheers to you, Sean. I mean, that's Zach Wild. That's Zach Wild. He's just stretching his fingers out in these days. That's Zach Wild, dude. That's just fucking killer, bro. Come on now. Where does it sound good? Right here? I'm gonna get blocked. They're gonna open Goodwill in my backyard, dude. I can donate whatever I want over there. If my tape breaks, I can donate it and claim money. You know what I mean? Dude, hold on. Hold on. Hey, Outlaws, I want to ask you a question, man. You know that Teen Wolf, right? You know the movie that Michael J. Fox is in, right? Teen Wolf is based on a Michael Landon movie. Did you know that? It's called I Was a Teenage Werewolf. It's actually a Michael Landon movie. Isn't that funny, dude? Yo, Outlaw, watch how I get away with this. When I go outside and they're like, yo, what the fuck? I'm like, oh, I went to one of those youth treatments. SBK, have a good way. It's pipe organ music, man. It's pipe organs. Here's a. You want to take a ride? Let's take a ride at the carnival here. Here's a carnival ride. We're just playing, man. I don't want to waste your time anymore. Jeez. Like I said, I wasn't really trying. Oh boy. Whoops. I'll call it. It's a youth treatment. I had a youth treatment gone wrong. Sure, hold on, 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 but it's hold on, sure, hold on, sure, hold on, sure, hold on, sure, hold on, sure. Am I still alive? Hello, Cosmic. How you doing, brother?
Good, brother. How about you?
Wonderful, man. Couldn't be better. Absolutely not. I mean, like I am enthralled. I am interested, and everything has been going great.
Hey, man, that's awesome.
How are you?
I'm not bad. I just kind of, this is Sunday. Sunday's kind of my day just to, not do nothing.
And I'm not much of a Sunday YouTube streamer either. Actually, Doug does that very often on Sunday, and I believe he did it tonight, and I kind of missed out. A lot of times I'll go say hi over there, but I know that certain things that, retarded beard is tied to and things like I can't interfere with those things, so I have to stay out and let them develop because we have our own corner, no big deal, you know.
Right.
I've had the best weekend, It started with Friday morning, Thursday morning, Wednesday morning, Tuesday morning, Monday morning. I had the best weekend ever, and I don't know when it started. It could have been 2 weeks ago. But specifically, the last couple of days, like Friday and Saturday, have been fantastic.
That's
And I
awesome.
don't even know what happened. Like, I sent my son out to, get some things. And one of them was a pack of cigarettes.
Right.
And he something happened and he couldn't. But his mother already bought me one. You know what I mean? Like, and she didn't know that. I didn't know that, but it just happened. And she was like, "Oh yeah, and give him this." She just happened to buy me one because she knows I'll only buy flavored shit now. So she just happened to buy me a menthol that she ran into. Because I won't buy unflavored shit. I'll roll it. Why?
Right.
Why buy? Why buy? But it's nice to see you, man.
Yeah, it's good to see you. I always enjoy chit chatting, man. I just been you know, just rolling along. I mean, to,
Well, I love to chit chat too. And I have your email and I have your phone number, and and we can do that. But more interesting to me is you started live streaming. You said you have streamed before, but we haven't seen it. We've only seen like 2 or 3 times you coming up with Ben, right?
yeah,
And so
that's all I've really done so far is
yeah, so to me that was brand new, and I wanted to any way I could smoke you out, coax you up, so that you could tell people what's going on with Cosmic's channel that you're streaming and explain to them what's going on and talk to them about Ben. And
sure.
like I said, if I miss something, if you did something any time ago that I missed and it used to be live all the time, I've only seen 2 or 3 live streams with you and Ben.
Right.
And so I'd like for you to introduce people to it, if you would. We're
Sure.
we're all ears, and all ears and all thumbs too. Like, we'll knock it all over, but let's hear about it first.
Yeah, sure. Well, you know what? A lot of people have tried to get me to live stream for quite some time, and I just hadn't really felt it was the right time. I was busy modding and just kind of moving around, and I had a lot of chores and stuff I'd get done. I was trying to get decks posted because that's really my main focus, so that people can look at stuff before they buy, and all that stuff. Kind of gives me a footprint that I can, if I don't show up for a couple of weeks because I had to paint the house or something.
And if I can say, and this is what that finger means, like I talked to some other guests, I was like, this means a point is coming, so let me win in the break. So if I can say, yeah, I mean, when you showed off a deck, I had to get it for my wife, and she completely enjoyed it. And that kind of, it actually set off a chain of events, because I was just saying to you, hey, I'm appreciative that you shared that so I could share it with her. And then something else came up, and I said, yeah, I've got that in plans. And you were like, well, no time like the present. And, you sent it that way. And I'm still sitting on a couple of these good things that I'll pass on to someone. And you said, I have my reasons. And I said, hey, I accept those reasons. I'll pass it on to someone else. Doesn't mean I don't have more for you. You know what I mean? Like, it's
Oh yeah,
the
and I'm
thing about the train is the train never ends. It's got 664 platforms. Do you know that that's like the limit of like XO trains is like, I still think under 666 is, but it's near.
and that's a lot.
Somebody might want to fix that.
That's that's over my head. There, that is. That's it's
No, nothing is. I just wanted you to explain to people how you're going live now and how to check that out. I like, really, because it basically is new, and I know because I've been watching as long as I can be.
well. You're one of my moderators, man. I mean, a par excellence moderator, I might add. You know, really add a lot to the chat. Well, you just come to Cosmic Orphan, uh, my channel, and basically what my lives are about is uh, talking to people and talking about tarot decks and talking about esoteric stuff. Anything that kind of comes down the pike, and I'm hoping Joe's going to be a guest on there. I'm hoping a lot of your subs will be guests on there because we're going to interview a lot of different people. It's not just about tarot community; it's about everybody. Hobo's going to be on there.
Oh, heck yeah.
All kind of people, and I'm sure that many will probably want to make an appearance, and that
Oh,
kind of stuff.
wow, man, you jumped far. Did you talk to many?
Not yet, but that's why I was kind of putting it out tonight because it's like feeding a wild tiger. You got to throw it into the
Oh
cage from
yeah.
way
Oh
back.
yeah.
You know what I'm
Oh
saying?
yeah. You know what? You know what I have for you. You know what I have for you, sir, Cosmic.
What's
I
that?
do have a tomahawk steak, okay, but first follow this plastic, cup of peanut butter. If you like this, I do have a tomahawk steak for you. So I'm gonna bring you. I'm gonna bring you around
I
and
got
see
you.
if you like the environment first.
I see what you're saying. Yeah, but that's like Ben. I've interviewed Ben, and I got Miss Taro D is going to be my guest coming up this coming week, and I may add a couple of lives during the week. I try to be conscious of not stepping on other people's broadcast and stuff, but
That's
sometimes,
nice. No, it's nice. Yeah.
yeah, it's sometimes it's hard to do because some of those people not only have establishments, but they'll do a pop up, and so I try to steer through the wreckage as best I can. But
I
I think
think I think the worst thing to do is have a bunch of upcomings because it looks like spam. And I've told people this forever, and I was like, you don't want to stack three upcomings, and they were like, well, I thought that made people feel more comfortable. I said, no, it looks like spam. It looks like a bunch of coupons. It kind of cheapens what you're doing. If you have one upcoming, fine, but deliver on it within a few. Like you're putting it out there so that the guest can share it to their socials, blah blah blah. But you don't want to have a stacked four upcomings. It looks like a bubblegum machine or whatever. It looks like maybe we'll see one of these, and then when you don't show up, and it happens, because you don't factor in the fact that 1 hour of streaming is like 4 hours of your life. It really is. Like, and things get fucked up behind you and, like, knock you on the head, and you're gonna be like, nothing to see here. People
yeah,
drop out. People drop out and leave you in their channel, and you look in your house. Uh, where'd they go? And it's like, well, they weren't in your house anyway, but you forgot, and you're looking for them. Like, where'd Johnny go?
yeah,
Isn't there some channel?
it's no cakewalk by any means, man. It's matter of fact,
Taxing, bro. It's taxing.
my hats are off to well, I before I got in the tarot uh, arena on YouTube, I was in the true crime arena for about 5 6 years,
Cool,
and,
cool.
and that's a whole different kettle of fish. I mean, that's I ain't going to call it the big leagues, but it's pretty close because a lot of those guys have 100,000 plus subs and generating $250,000 a year income off of their streams, and they're
Well,
tied in to law enforcement and all kind of different stuff.
I'll
And
tell you what, man. If anybody here, because she's been recently kind of demotivated. So if anybody here can look at my subscribers, Miss Rainey. It's called That's Miss Rainey. And she does like this true crime content. She does some karaoke. She does some, home improvements and fixings. She does some just, driving around, out games and stuff. But she's been recently demotivated. It's Miss Rainey. So I guess it's Miss Rainey. Rainy, but it's that like that apostrophe S Miss Rainey, and she does a lot of true crime content. And I guess she's been down. She was on tonight, but anyway, like anybody who can go there and motivate her, I'm just trying to shout out her at. Go check it out.
Yeah,
I
it's
was like one of those gifted or gifted what do you call it? Gifted members or whatever. I don't have member money on YouTube. I can't do $5.99 a month for anybody. I just can't afford it. So
I totally understand
if
that.
you can, that's how people operate sometimes.
Right. And a lot of people may be interested in true crime's a very intriguing and interesting field in YouTube. I mean, there's you've got the good, you've got the bad, just like anything else. But what got me started on the true crime side of it was there was two girls that were murdered in Indiana, and the case was just heartbreaking. I mean, it just absolutely heartbreaking. And that case got me interested, made me mad as far as, that somebody could perpetrate a crime like that on a couple of
For
13-year-old
sure.
kids.
For
So I
sure.
got
That's so sad, that's so wrong, It's
right.
it's heartbreaking, and it's unfair. My kids, I understood the difference between fair and reality, but my kids were born saying, "Hey, that's unfair," and I'd be like, "Well, dang it, you're right," but that's not how things work around here in the real world. But you're
Right.
right. You're right. It's totally unfair.
Right. So that kind of pulled me into the YouTube true crime world. Of course, I bounced around looking at different ones because I'm there's a lot of people out there that do frivolous stuff that's all about clickbait and all this other stuff. But I really was looking for somebody that really did it right, that was looking at the facts, doing the investigating and all that stuff. And I ran across a guy that I felt like, and I still feel like, he's probably the best there is. And even the police will tell you because they've actually brought him in and used some of the stuff that he creates. He does like 3-dimensional walkthroughs and stuff, and he actually produced a video on this murder that was really key in identifying when they finally caught the person. And of course, he was just recently sentenced. He was convicted and sentenced, and but it took years for all this to transpire. And that whole time this was going on, he would do all these updates and stuff on his channel. So, it's pretty exhaustive work. But you can only do that for so long because you get so burnt out, you get so frustrated, you get tired of really seeing the injustice in the world and getting frustrated about the fact that you can't do anything about this injustice,
For sure.
that
For sure. For sure.
right. So that's when, I kind of shifted gears. And I'd always been kind of a spiritual junkie, and I'd been in and out of cardomancy, and different stuff off and on. And I started doing it as a daily practice to process some of the trauma from my own life, and that's how I wound up in tarot too. But the stuff I'm doing on the channel is just really just getting people's stories as far as their spiritual perspective and stuff. What's
Okay, well,
what
let me ask you. Let me ask you about yesterday because I
okay.
didn't even think about this until the morning. Did I interrupt or like stop you from doing a stream yesterday? Because I don't know if you did one, but I
No,
remember that you came up here and I was like, "Oh, if you were planning to do one, I hope I didn't step on your toes or
not
like."
no. I was just going to do a pop up for you. Just
Okay, okay.
yeah.
I was just like, I wanted to be sure because I woke up today. I was like, man, I might have just stepped on his toes without thinking about it.
No, no. I'm not that kind of person. I'm not. I mean,
And I don't want to be, but it happens,
oh,
because
it does.
everybody who's in attendance and shaking hands, I'm like, yeah, we're all good. We're all good. I assume the niceties, that's one of the worst things I do. Because being a band player and especially a rhythm player, you have to just shut up and you have to be there and you have to entangle chords and carry things up the stairs and you just
Right.
shut up. And so like everybody's there. I'm like, hey, what's up? What's up? And I'm like, I'm not like, hey, it's so great to see you. I'm just like, what's up? What's up? I'm just busy. And
Yeah.
I'm
I
like,
mean,
we're
I,
here because we're together, right? That's why. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, bro. Hi. Welcome in. I'm sorry. I haven't seen you in 2 months. And I'm acting like it's yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, I just was, because you've been so nice to everybody else about putting them on air and stuff like that. I thought, well, if you weren't doing nothing, you were bored, I put you up, where you could sit back, throw your feet up, and Cadillac while I did all the driving kind of thing. It's like a paying it back. But yeah, I do want you to come on the show where you can
For
tell your
sure.
story to people because whatever story you want to tell, that's what we did the other night with Ben. We talked about, the stories that were told, the stories that we live, the stories we leave behind, and the stories that we believe. And, how that those all become part of your path and, how you can change them and how you reevaluate them as you get older and stuff like that. So, that's
And
just the kind of stuff
I
we do.
like I like analogs, so those kind of selves that you're talking about is like the one that you can be aware of, the one that you're projecting, and the one that's the shadow. Those are the three things that you were just talking about, and that's so funny because when Hershey got her package of books, one of those things in there, she was like, "Well, there wasn't anything in it." Well, there wasn't, but I made a little triangle which was saying the same thing in the Manly P hallway. And it was those same three levels, and it was that same triangle. And I just thought it was hilarious, just the clarity of that sort of thing. It's like, we could talk about this all day. We need to have this somewhere in our hearts, though, because it's an easy way and a good way to address your day. And when you're
Right.
brushing your teeth and looking at yourself, and you're like, this is what I'm getting ready for.
That's
No
really what
love.
it's about.
Yeah, yeah.
It
Just look in the mirror and spend that minute talking to yourself and getting ready. Oh boy, I don't know, man. Like my sister calling me so sad. I'm like, yes, but we die. And like it happened and like, the time wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad. And she's like, but myself, my daughter, and I was like, oh man. I did already say to you before getting to this level, you guys need some help that I can't help you with. But now that you're getting to this level, I'm like, it's almost like, this is almost like so invasive. Like, of course you can live without. Of course you can live without. There's no hate or hurt to that. My mom's gone. I can live without that today, tomorrow, the past, the future. No hindrance to my life. I can live without that. So something's going on here where somewhere in you two ladies, like in your souls, you have to understand, yes, you can live without this. And you need to understand that immediately before it becomes a real problem, before the dependence becomes a problem because it's not a healthy dependence. It needs to be broken.
right. Well, most of us spend our whole life worried about fear and death. We may not vocalize it in the sense of, oh, I'm afraid of dying, but in reality, that's what most people are doing is they're trying to hang on to this manifested life at any cost and will do whatever it takes to survive and to thrive and all that other stuff. That's the nature of survival that's encoded into us. But
Sure.
if you don't ever pursue your spiritual self, I think everybody comes to, a crossroads in their life. That's one of those repetitive archetypes that you see in all kinds of literature and poetry and everything else is the old crossroads, and people come to a crossroads in their life where they look around and say, am I really happy? Do I really understand why I'm here and what's going on, all that other stuff?
Yeah, those are those. They talk about them as a crossroads. They talk about it as a crisis. In the literature, they're like, "Oh, that's that midlife crisis. That's that 7-year itch. That's that, blah 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 blah." In literature, that's how they speak of it. But it's just your, animosity for being too close or your discontentment for not knowing what's outside. Either there's too much friction for being close or there's too much question for being distant. So friction or animosity, either way, you know what I mean. Like it's what's outside, question mark, what's inside, too familiar, both of them distasteful, where do I sit, and then juggle juggle, and that's what we do, man. Dance dance, juggle juggle.
That's right. And the only way to really resolve that is is to really address and know yourself, and really look at, because, so, the thing about death is we fail to understand it for really what it is, because you know when you come into this realm, you kind of have this amnesia mentality where you don't remember your divinity, you don't remember your past lives, you don't remember where you came from. You're just kind of like a clean slate.
Right.
So we automatically don't have any bearings, but we also have that, eternal spirit in us that also at the same time makes us feel like we're immortal and indestructible. And that's why at
I'll,
19 years old, you ride a motorcycle 200 miles an hour down the road.
I'll, I'll tell you what, when you're talking about the innocent, immortal spirit that you're born with, what it told me is I have to leave something. So it made me like an immediate, like, bricklayer. It was like I have to build a wall behind me, something for that to be seen. What you're talking about, that ignorance and not understanding, I don't know. I mean, maybe I'm the only thing, but if I'm the only thing, I have to leave something behind. So, I start whipping up some concrete and, slapping things together and lighting things on fire and leaving scorched earth and built earth and everything behind. I needed to do that. I needed to leave a lizard tail on all the mud. You know what I mean? Like I was here, I was here, I was here, and I was there. And, I broke it up and I built it up. And so that ignorance that you were talking about that you're born with, it can go one way or another. I did really weird things, but just to
Right.
make sure that I made a mark,
Well, that's, in the old days, like, you know, Troy and all the, great battles, the great cities of old and the ancient tales and all that. It was always about, the glory. I have to live a life of glory and I have to leave a legacy, and, will they remember my name and all that? But the reality is, even if you do some really brilliant stuff, eventually they're still not going to remember your name,
Sure,
if the
sure,
format changes. So,
sure. That's
so
why like people are like weird about me sending them originals and now, and I'm like, no, you try to curate them because guess what? I can curate them. You can curate them. We die. You think your grandparents are going to do, I mean, your grandchildren are going to do anything except walk them to the curb, put them in the skip. That's it, bro. All of what you thought was something, all your gilded glory is getting thrown in the skip. Just, and they'll pay people $25 an hour to do it.
right.
Shit.
I
you
see the
know,
I see the Dream Tooth. Has he changed his name to Dream T?
yes, yes, that's Dream too. Yes, he was up here. Ignorance with a.
That's cool. Yeah, it's it. I death. I went through a period. My mother, my father, and my father-in-law. And I was in a
Yes.
6-year period of time. I lost all three of them. My dad dropped dead of a heart attack. My mother got diagnosed with terminal cancer, and my father-in-law dropped dead of a heart attack, all in a very short span of time. My mother, it took her about 6 years to die because she had sarcoma, which is a really slow growing cancer, but they couldn't do anything about it. So it was just this horrible descent over about a 6-year period of time. But
Well,
and and
I hope you test clear because I know you have a history. You know what I mean? Like I hope that's not affecting you directly
well,
right now.
so far I'm good. I get checked every 3 years, and so far, but I don't really dwell on it, because during that period of dealing with all that, I really came face to face with just having to live with and understand the whole essence of death. Especially when you're taking care of
Boy,
somebody
you
that's
want to call it that, man? This is the problem. I already know it as the consequence of life. I never questioned it. It wasn't weird to me. People are looking at me like I'm weird, and I'm like the consequence of death is the consequence of life. It's like everything else. You make a choice, everything else happens. Watch it go, boom, 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 boom. Like a plinko, whatever. I've
right.
always seen that. That's why, there's like buddied up table over here, table over here. I couldn't mesh with any of them. I just had to make my circles. Hey, everybody. I felt like Geraldo of the playground. in the elementary school. I'm Geraldo. I'm walking around with my microphone. What do you guys think about it? Oh, I'm gonna tell the preps over there. Let's let's go to the next segment. And I felt like that in third grade.
You were inquisitive, man. You knew what
Well,
you knew what
where was I gonna sit? Where was I gonna sit? Nobody wanted me either.
you knew what your mission was even back then, Joe.
I guess. I guess.
Yeah,
I guess.
yeah.
But we gotta
But
watch your
that
lives,
that
man.
that's really nothing to fear. That's one of the things that I was with my mother. When she passed, and she was a very spiritual person all of her life, and uh,
So
she feared death. She really, I don't know. I didn't fully understand why, because you know she'd studied all these spiritual things all her life, and I knew she lived a good life, so I wasn't concerned about her being a bad person or anything. And I don't even think that really has
but
too much bearing.
anybody who fears death, they have some sort of a punitive vision of death. Like, what do they fear? They fear the punishment. Like, what is the punitive vision of death? Not everybody has that. That's not universal. So she must have had that. That vision.
That's what I think, and of course we talked through it, because she had a few close calls where they thought that we're going to lose her, and then she didn't, and
Pull through.
finally
Pull
there at the
through.
end we had that final conversation that hey, you're probably gonna make an exit here, and she finally got at peace with it. And
Yeah.
as she was passing, I mean, I could see that everything was changing, all the fear. I mean, she was talking to her mother, somebody was in the room, and
I
her
think
whole
I think I went through a real hard one accidentally too, Cosmo. But I'm not trying to interrupt. I'm just trying to like put that in because I will tell you
yeah.
that just accidentally. I think I recently hit something I needed to learn. I'm not trying to interrupt. Please finish.
No,
And
no,
to
interject anytime you want.
ignorance. Hello, ignorance. How you doing? 100. 100.
I, I don't think I know ignorance is bliss. Hey,
Not
yeah,
I either. Not I either. But welcome in. I'm not on subscriber only, and I've been on for a while, like 3 months, because I've only been trying to foster people that we know, which are the same, few people. Now we'll open up for a month or two. We'll see what happens. I don't have a lot of mods, and I'm not gonna.
yeah.
So don't ask.
But
Don't ask.
it all worked out great for her. I could see her, enter into peace, and that made me feel wonderful. And from that day forward, after I lost her, because I'd already lost my father-in-law and my dad, death and
They were
life.
both first.
But
The males were first.
yeah, and that's typically, statistically the way it goes. Testosterone's gonna kill you, Joe. I mean, that's just the bottom line. Is most of the
My
men you
grandmother, she said, "Why don't you get them chopped?" I was like, "What?" And then she's like, because she had steers, she had all these things, and I was like, "Well, why don't you do that with your dogs?" And I was like, and I looked at her, and I was like, their attitudes changed, huh? They don't act quite the same, do they, huh? And she'd be like, "I'd never do that to my dog," and she'd be like, "I don't know what you're talking about. You just need to get snipped." And I'm like,
yeah,
I
it
need my
make
drive. I need my drive, my ball drive.
yeah.
That's how they get you in the FBI and the police, whatever. They find the dog who has that ball drive, and then they're like, "We'll put a smell or something on the ball." That's what you look for, and it's like, okay,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah, that's the two most powerful drugs in the world is testosterone and the other one. You know what the other one is?
marijuana.
That's what I was waiting on right there, marijuana.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
But
Um, music's music's movies, maidens, and marijuana. There's four fucking M's, and they just kill me. I mean, it's a 4M series, and I leave. Like I can't live. I need to go. Music, maiden, marijuana, and movies. They just kill me. They're just so ambrosia.
well, they're an experience. That I mean, that's that's the thing about this realm is this realm's all for one thing: experience. It's your divine spirit getting to experience manifested stuff. The taste it, touch it, feel it, smell it.
So you think, and then when they talk about it just being like a cone of like spongy energy that's like projected, and you're like, that tracks too. It feels right too. It's like this stupid agreement that we had for 5 minutes. Yeah, we are a sponge cake. I don't know. You're. It sounds pretty right. We're just slices of thought and goo.
Right, but it's like the coolest Disney World ride that probably there is in the galaxy. You know what I mean?
For sure.
There's probably a line backed up somewhere up there in the cosmos of people waiting to manifest, and you must be this tall to manifest. You know what I'm saying? You
Oh,
know,
Disney is the most fascistic like seating system. They're like they figure out how tall you are and they filter you down to that category, and then they give you numbers like 9, and you're like, oh my gosh, is this the gallows? What are we signing up for?
uh, probably the same way to manifest, but I mean, I mean, yeah, and all this, is just our speculation because we don't really know other than people that have NDEs and come back, near death experiences and say, well, here's what
Sure,
happened.
sure,
And
sure.
it's all just speculation. The main thing is to enjoy the ride and to learn to have good relationships. That's one of the things that I value more than anything is relationship because money comes and goes, material things come and go,
Sure.
geographical locations will change, politics change, but relationship, is the only thing you really have, both with your family and
Man,
other people.
there's always a hand behind you that you can't see or whatever. There's always a support system that you don't know until you need it. So to me, it's like you got to protect the primary organism first. So just be of good humor so that you de-stress and so that you can have a good time. Um, be open and nice to everybody, friendly. Friend first, like until otherwise. Why not? What do you lose? Oh geez, well I can't talk about it. Like more specific, my wife and I are like, and then we start talking about groups, underserved groups. Like I can't, because we're just out here. But like we do that too. We're like, what? You don't think they have any opinions? It's like that's the crazy shit that goes in to the end. But just be as open and ready as you can be to meet the community and deal with it, be a part of it, contribute, and then the train. It goes both ways. It eventually does. If it doesn't, what did you lose? Only what you risked willingly. Give it away.
Right. Yep, because I'll tell you, it can change on a dime. I worked with this one guy, and he was real religious, and he just so religious he was hateful, and he had a daughter that was just the apple of his eye, and she was
Like you,
ador.
you really mean to say doctrinistic because everybody's born religious. There's always you and me and the devil make three, whatever. Everybody's religious and superstitious to some level, and there's always a god of consequence and whatever. As long as
Yeah,
we're looking at the
dogmatic's
same
probably
box.
what I was. Yeah,
Yeah, so yeah, something like that. I mean, he was stricter to he was dogmatic to some sort of thing that made him judgmental, hateful, prideful, and hurtful. It hurts him that other people don't see why it's so dang important to see what he saw, and like, come on, man. That's
right,
why ups and downs. You see, I saw. That's how we roll.
right.
Fuck it, Don't hurt yourself. That's the primary thing to protect yourself. If you can
Right.
be of good humor, be available, and be alive, then I can help you.
Yeah, and he had this daughter, and she was really beautiful, and he was because of his dogmatic beliefs, his interpretation of them. He was pretty racist, and I told him. He asked me what I thought about it because he knew I had studied all these different religions and stuff, and I said, "Well, I'll just tell you." I said, "If you don't take that attitude and really deal with it and process it and go beyond your on prejudice and ignorance. I said the universe is going to give you the biggest tune-up you've ever seen, and of course he felt like that he was beyond being able to be adjusted because he felt like I guess he was transfigured already. So his daughter goes off to college and comes home at the end of one of the semesters, and she's pregnant, and she's been in a romance with a guy from Puerto Rico, and she's going to have twins. And
Oh wow. Yep.
he came back to work. He told me this story, and I said, "Well, why are you telling me this?" He said, "Well, that's what you told me was going to happen." And I said, "Well, it ain't nothing I
God's
said."
punishment. It didn't sound like a God's punishment story to you anyway. You were just like, oh,
It
everybody's
wasn't.
having children.
It wasn't. It wound up being the best thing. It wound up being the best thing ever happened to him. When those twins
Yeah, no
came,
shit. Yeah, no shit.
they were the light of his life. The guy that she married,
A new
that's
purpose in life, having these grandchildren and all,
yeah,
that's
and the
what it
guy
is, right?
and the father was a great dude. He wound up being just an amazing son-in-law who this guy just absolutely adored after they got married and he got to know him. So I mean, right there before he retired, he came back in there and he shook my hand and he said, I want to thank you because he said, if you hadn't said what you said to me, he said, I don't think I would have been prepared mentally when this happened. And I said,
Well,
well,
let
that's
me.
just because you didn't want to see the truth, brother. That's the whole thing. You got to be willing to want to see the reality of what you're
Okay,
watching.
so I'm going to tell you like the story. This is actually, it was very hurtful to me, but it was sick and it was hard and it was real, and that's what had to happen. But Dream Tooth and Cosmic, can you guys stream together now? Like, how
I can
can you do that?
I can stream all three of us right now.
Well, Dream Tooth, ask if that's okay. What do you think, Dream Tooth? Because I had you on. I know you cut out for a little bit. I can't stream because I'm still outside. I gotta be quiet soon. But I'll tell you what happened. But I want you guys to hook up because I
Well,
tried to actually prevent this, and it was hurtful, but I guess it had to happen, and I realize it now. You know what I mean? Like, so some lessons that must be learned are really still very distasteful the way they're delivered, right? That's what I'm trying to say. But make
well,
sure you guys can hook up. I want to make sure this happens because I told him, hey, I'll go live, but I was still chatting with him until he was like, go ahead. And I brought him up, and now Cosmic's up, and now you guys are on. And like, I think you guys should hang up, and I want to see, but I can't. I can't talk out here much longer.
I think
Oh,
Dream
he
Team.
doesn't feel up to it. Okay, never mind. Never mind.
That's cool. Yeah, anytime y'all want to do, I mean, that's one of the reasons I went to this software is to give us the ability for because this software I got will support like up to 12 people, and
Okay. Okay.
so I wanted to have an option where if there was multiple people wanting to get together and do a panel or something, we'd have some kind of a venue that people could go to. And I'm this close to being able to multicast it. I'm still having to learn to program the back end. You got to have a couple things. You got to have some server names and some security keys to be able for me to actually simulcast it to your YouTube.
Multicast. Yeah.
Because I've only been using this software like for about 5 days, so I'm having to learn it on the fly. But yeah, I
Well,
can I can stream multiple people and you know
Well, I'll say Dream Tooth. I'll say Dream Tooth. No problem. No problem. But I will also say, if you do distance socializing, yes, of course, that's what we're trying to do. But no, I mean, like Cosmic, go live and share it now, and then we'll go up, and at least I'll chat in because I can't talk out here anymore.
Okay, so y'all wanted to you want to do a stream right now?
I'll join you in the chat if you do so.
Oh,
Dream
not the
Tooth,
chat. I
you
want you to
can.
come up live, man.
I can't because I gotta stop talking. It's too late outside here.
Well, you can't go in the house and talk, or you just gonna sit out there and smoke, ain't you?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
thought you was gonna cut down from them 12 joints every 4 hours.
Okay. Well,
I'm,
it'll
te-
just be this.
I'm teasing
It's
you,
no
man.
different.
I'm teasing.
It's no
I'm
different.
teasing you, man.
It's no different.
Well, I ain't gonna go live if I ain't got no guest. Dream Tooth, he's probably wore
I
out.
bet
I
you
do.
can. I bet you can. Just go live. We'll start chatting, and then you'll see. You'll see. Just go live. We'll start chatting. Share your channel first.
Okay, I'll go live here in a minute. I do want to have Dream Tooth up as a guest also. And I apologize for not being down on your channel here recently, but it's that time of year where all my chores are piling up on me. You know, painting the house, mowing the yard, trimming trees. You know,
They
putting
call it
flowers.
like they call it the spring clean and trim. We all know. There's a
Yeah,
bustle in your hedgerow.
yeah. And and here
I
lately,
don't know
all
why
my
you would have
traveling
said
through
that.
here lately, all my traveling through time and space has been out in the yard. So, you know, I,
My wife just went to her mom's house and pulled all the weeds and shit. She came back all scarred up and bloody, like from poison sumac and all that kind of. Oh boy, it was ugly. It was Pennsylvania, shit. You know, bad, bad, bad.
yeah, that poison ivy and stuff, man. That ain't nothing to fool around with, man.
I grew up with it too, man, and also like just all the mints. You know, because you break a mint, you know, that could ruin your day. Your eyes will be burning. You just break a purple mint open. Whoops. Whoops. I can't see all day.
Oh yeah, man, it's bad. All right, well, let me get off here and I'll go live. And if I don't get 100 people show up, I'm
You will.
coming.
You
I'm
will.
gonna come back and tickle you, man.
See, there's 11 of them right there. You'll get them. There's
Okay.
100 people. They're coming right now.
Uh,
Everybody right now.
all right, man. I'll see you in a bit.
All right. Bye.